G'day, fellas, and welcome to Game 17 of Outback Octagon 4. We are now entering the third week of games, and boy, is it going to be good. You know, I completely forgot that as the Knights Templar, you get to see sacred sites and you get to see relics. And so we've loaded in here. As you can see, we're watching a Knights Templar player, and we can see all the relics. How good is this? This makes it easy. Let's just start by counting them. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 relics. And what's this? A single sacred site? Anybody interested in a good game? I know I am. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning in the north of the map in the color yellow with an outpost next to him, we have got ourselves a little bit of scatterbrained. It's going to be a race right here. Do we dare take the eyes off the prize? The king now coming out as well. He's looking to assist. It's going to be a bit of a race. How many vills has he got on the town center? 5 that are right here, right now. Outpost might come up. I think he's going to cancel it at the last second. There's no way he allows it to come up. Oh, the outpost are going to arrive. Vills jump inside. TC's online. Everyone survives. And Louis MT wastes a whole bunch of resources on an outpost, which is disappointing. But at the same time, I mean, he's also got good coverage here. Villager goes down. That's 1 down. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of damage. So now Louis building up the TC with only 2 vills, and then he's got the 2 inside here. We got action already early on. I don't know whether or not there's action anywhere else on the map, but we got a bit of a slow start for these two, that's for sure. Okay, Vill's going to vacate. So now if he wanted to, he could bring the Vills over here and actually siege this down, so it feels a little bit better because he's on this, on the gold, and I think that's probably what he's going to do here. So definitely a waste by Louis, unfortunately, but he was trying anyway. In the red, playing as the Chinese. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Louis MT. Wait, what? Scatterbrain? Scatterbrain getting a bit excited. Oh, Lord, have mercy. He was hunting. He was looking. Did you see that? He was going all the way. I thought he was just going to siege down the outpost. It turns out he's just decided against it. Anyway, to their south in the color blue, playing in the Juicy Legacy, or playing as the Juicy Legacy, we got Vortex. Beautiful little spawn he's got here, nestled amongst the wood lines. He's got the berries, the mill. It's beautifully positioned here. And, you know, the other reality, the sad reality for these two players is that Vortex is a little bit further away than them, and therefore he doesn't get any issues. So nice little start for him. Over to their east though, in the color pink, playing as Jeanne d'Arc, a civilization that typically you think of as not the strongest FFA civilization, but a civilization that has won, I think, 3 games so far when it comes to Outback Octagon 4. It is dominating. It's Myriad. Oh man, I tell you what, I'm excited to see exactly how he looks to play this one out, because he's got this really nice position where he's got this proxy to these 3, so it's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel for him. To the south, in the color purple, playing as the Malians. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Corvinus 1. Oh boy, oh, watch out for him. Look at all the space he's got as well. Look at all the resources he's got. Oh, he's got the double gold vein as well. Beautiful little spot for him nestled in here. He's got plenty of wood line, the stone if he needs it, and just a little bit of deer. I don't know, anybody here like deer? How many has he got in here? I'm trying to select it, but there we go. 24 deer. 24 deer. Wow, and he's got the 2 there. So he's got 4 packs of deer. Not to... Oh, my lord. Just a little bit of deer. Anyway, that is a dream spawn. I mean, that is incredible. Like, he's got every single resource, and he's got so much of it. And he's all by himself. In the south of the map, in the color orange, playing as the Ottomans, it's Dynasty. Nice little spot down here for the Don as well. Got all the villagers together. Looks like the age up about to come through. Is he thinking about trade? He might be thinking about trade. I think he could be thinking about trade. He's thinking about trade. Everyone in the chat right now, Don is trading. I'm confirming it. I'm confirming it. Over towards the east side in the color light blue, playing as the Abbasid, a hero, a fan favorite, a man still yet to get on the board. Actually, is he still yet to get on the board? He might be. We'll check. We'll check. It's Give You Anxiety. We gotta worry about what's happening over here. Look at these two, dude. Oh lord, this is Vortex. Hold on. Louis MT now fighting with Vortex. He's picking fights with everybody in here. So in the end, the deer are gonna be denied. Oh, this is gonna be a quick game for Louis MT. He's gonna be off for a game of Warcraft 3. That is for certain. And over towards the east side, in the color green, playing as the Knights Templar. You saw him at the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Puppy 4. Welcome to Outback Octagon 4. A pleasure to have your company here today. Shall we take a look at the standings just before players start aging up? I mean, technically we've already got age ups coming through. Just see where everybody is, get a bit of an idea on where these players currently are. I think it's a good idea. Let's take a look. Currently, rank number 1, Corvinus won by an absolute long shot. 3rd place, we've got Puppy Paw right there. We've also got Don Artie, 7th place. Vortex, 8th place. We've got a whole bunch of players. We've got Myriad as well as a whole bunch of players. And GUA still yet to get on the board, so we'll be keeping an eye out on him to see whether or not he's able to put the pieces together in this game and potentially find a pathway to victory. Good luck to you, GUA. Let's pick a favorite. Let's pick a first one out. First one out. That's an easy one. I'll give you guys that one. That is well and truly going to be Louis MT here. Good night, sweet prince. Who's going to win this game? Do we dare say Corvinus won? I mean, he's got a good spot. He doesn't have the best FFA civ. Puppy Paw's also got a pretty good spot. I kind of like this spot as well. Another thing to note is, like, Don's got a great spot as well, but then you've got to just consider, like, okay, Myriad is in the middle of the map and he's just got weaklings to pick off on the edges, and he just so easily could do it if he wanted to. So that's another factor to consider. But I'm going to be safe here, and I'm going to say, I reckon Puppy Paw. He's going 2 TC. He's on the edge of the map. I'm putting my money on Puppy Paw, and it's a single sacred site. Keep that in mind. And if there's any civilization you want to be playing with a single sacred site, it's probably not KT, because, you know, ideally you want as many options as you can to send your pilgrims out. Nice little bit of sheep here, 31 sheep, just a small amount. Let's check in on the age ups and see how they're doing. So, we've got the Sultanate Trade Network here coming in for the Don in the south. GUA has gone for the the culture wing. And, oh, look at this. GUA doing a little bit of study right now. This is exactly the strategy that we see Corvinus 1 using. Opens with the culture wing, drops the second TC at full price, and then immediately goes to Castle Age with the cheaper age up. So, I think GUA may have been doing a little bit of study here and looking at Corvinus 1's games and saying, okay, how does he play this? This guy's decent. He's good. Let's see what his magic trick is. Age up coming through on the west side. We've got the Hippodrome coming in for Scatterbrain. Definitely not the landmark you want to see as a piggy in the middle right now. And keep in mind, I mean, Louis MT is absolutely piggy in the middle. So this is not going to be a fun game for him. Still yet to click up, by the way. He's about to do it now. He's playing the Chinese. So he's going to be a bit slow out of the gate here. But he will be coming through shortly. So he's got an option for the Barbican. How does he look to play it? He's going to go aggressive here and try and get access to gold. And I think that makes a fair bit of sense. Checking in. We've got the Meditation Gardens in the back side. Is he just going fast castle? I think Vortex is just going fast castle here. Definitely the right call for him. Ville's now going to be evacuated. Imperial official going to be brought back. Of course, there's only a handful of Villes here, but he's bringing up more, looking to try and secure this position. I think in this circumstance, you just want to delete this mill. Otherwise, your Imperial officials are going to keep coming out here. All right, good on him. He's picked up the last little bits of gold. Let's check in with Corvinus 1. He's put the pit mine down in the south. We've also got, I like the progression with the Mansa Quarry, the fact that this is so far back from the rest of his base. He knows, you know, we want to try and progressively move towards the edge of the map so that our landmarks are safer. Louis MT finally aging up 9 minutes. No, he is not fish booming. He's just had a bit of a weird start, so don't worry about that age up time, guys. So, anyway, that's who we're going to go with. We're going to go with Puppy Paw here. He's, by the way, got a 3rd TC coming up. Now, this is impressive to see because, number one, we've definitely seen the meta shift quite a bit recently. Warrior Scouts? No Warrior Scouts just yet. Actually, Warrior Scouts wouldn't matter. That's not a Byzantine Scout. That's Scatterbrain Scout. So, normally, we've seen players definitely focusing on 1 TC fast castle. We've seen that a huge amount here. And so what I find interesting is that Puppy Paw hasn't just gone for a 2nd TC, he's gone for a 3rd TC. And normally that can be a little bit of an interesting decision to make, because when you've got this kind of isolation the same way that Puppy Paw does, you need to make this decision. Am I going to really go hard on my eco with all this space? Or am I going to look to get units online a little bit sooner, and then that's going to allow me to get some kills, hopefully. So that's the decision that you're going to have to make. And Puppy Paw here has just said, you know what? We're just going to absolutely go for it. By the way, take a look at the age up that he's gone for. The Knights Templar. Interesting decision here. So obviously these Templar Knights have got the ability to heal. They're like little mini men-at-arms. Not mini men-at-arms, but men-at-arms with the ability to heal. By the way, Louis MT, he's not going to have a fun day today. It's only going to be a matter of seconds before the Chirosophonts are raining down upon him. And indeed, those seconds are up. Poor Louis, dude. Poor Louis. I mean, it's just one of those things, right, where he's just stuck in the middle. Yeah, you hate to see Piggy in the middle like this, but at the end of the day, it's what happens in FFA. You get these unfair spawns. You get these unfair situations. There's a part of me that makes me think, you know, like, maybe we should get rid of the nomad component of Outback Octagon just so that players, you know, they all spawn in a circle. I don't know if you've seen what happens if you play FFA when it's not nomad, but basically they all spawn in like this nice little circle, and then it's just a fight from there. But yeah, it's kind of there's so much more fun in nomad, isn't there? Nomad is just great. But let's check in on that south side, see how our potential leaders are doing today. We'll check in with Corvinus 1. You can see him actually throwing down Raxes with the Farimba garrison, so not even opting for any sort of sofa play, instead going into infantry. And we see the cows as well coming down on the south side, the cattle ranches. He's going to be looking to move into that direction instead. So definitely a bit of a non-standard opening here for Corvinus 1. Very much focusing on that age up. For Puppy Paw over on the east side, he is looking to wall up. He is preparing for the late game. Some good little walls that he's got up here. I think there could be a gap along the edge. He is looking to get himself in a wonderful spot for that late game. Second TC up for Don, second TC up for GUA, third TC up over on that east side for Puppy Paw. And, well, now we got ourselves a little bit of chat. GUA, I don't want to fight you, by the way. Sad face. You can see right there. I love that these two, with so much distance between each other, are saying, I don't want to fight you. And meanwhile, on the north side, it's just like, ah! They're just screaming at each other right now. Vils inside the TC. Whole bunch of Lamentinite in here. They're just going to pop out immediately. Horsemen not having a real chance to do much roasting today. And we got quite a bit. I'm going to turn this bad boy down. Oh, we got ourselves a little bit of a 2v1. I mean, this is a tough spot on the side of Scatterbrained. How do you deal with this many Lancers in here? The Lancers are gonna come in and clean it out for Louis MT. Louis MT says, hey, thanks, bud. Thanks for helping me out. He's making a little bit of a runway for the king here down towards the Barbican of the Sun. Louis MT, a hard early game here that he's had to play with. Gets the gate up as well, so he can put the Vils onto the other side. Vils can potentially look to siege stuff down. And I think the most important thing in this situation is looking to try and get that surround on the king. Town Center now burning. King out the back. King out the back. He's going to move while these two look to compete. And now the Barbican is the last place of refuge for this king, at least for the moment. And of course, Vortex will be very happy with that. Vortex knows, okay, well, he's got two ways to potentially run. He's got the first way that he can run down towards this part, which is towards me. Or the second way he can run is towards Scatterbrained. And now we can see Puppy Paw scouting out the location of everyone. We saw the king out of water just for a second, actually. Did we see the king out of water? I thought we saw the king out of water. Spots out everybody right now. Vil's going to try their best. And, oh, we've got ourselves a little bit of a three-way. Well, technically a four-way. We're getting very French with this right here. We've got ourselves Myriad coming through as well. Now, Myriad is still in the feudal age. Age up is coming through. Guildhall in the middle of the map here. Not able to find a spot on the edge. And even more units now coming out. Corvinus 1, there's blood in the water. They sense it, they see it. The town center's down. He's been moved over to the Barbican. The Vils are repairing. Louis MT, the longer he fights, the more that come to pull off a limb or two. And now we've got Myriad just looking to find other potential options instead. Perhaps they realize Vortex may have this one 100%. Scout comes in here for Scatterbrained. He's having a look again down mid. Does he see it? Well, he sees a whole bunch of units in his base. They're just going to keep them in there for now. Joan of Arc in the back. She could look for a snipe here. Vils repairing. Corvinus 1 continuing to spam units. He's up to 4 Raxes now. A whole bunch of Musofadi warriors that are coming out here. Cows in the back. And now Vils brought up as well. Vortex realizes the urgency of the situation and says, we got to take this guy out. We got to take him out right now. The more this keeps... Oh, yeah, we got trouble. Oh, we got trouble in paradise right now. He's going to try and get the quick wall up. It does manage to hit. And now Lamentinite at the back. King pops out. He's going to go into the village. Oh, he keeps extending his life. This guy won't stop. Louis MT putting on a show at the last second. And what? Oh, he's lost his landmark. The final points go over towards Vortex. He's going to pick up the points for the kill, but will he pick up the king? I don't think so. Plus 50 goes over to Scatterbrained, and despite not picking up the kill, he does manage to get the king, denying it away from Vortex. he's got to be feeling, at the very least, a little bit relieved about that. That is absolutely massive for him to have made it over here. Vortex, he picks up the... we'll have to go in and double check and just make sure who got the last hit there. I know that it does come up and it shows the color, but you can't always trust that. That's something that we have learnt. So just be aware of that. But it looks like Corvinus 1 might be coming out early with some tempo. And this is sort of what I was talking about with Puppy Paw, where it's like, it's very nice going for the 3 TCs. It feels wonderful. It feels great. But you got to make sure that the entire lobby just doesn't die by the time you come online. How's he doing for units? He's up. He's quite literally just going into the Templar Knights. Interesting decisions. Village going to be thrown up here from Vortex. He's seen a cool trick to the north. He's going to look to try and emulate it. Meanwhile, we've got units up towards the top side. King jumps into the village in the north spot. Lancers are up here, and you can see he's trying to find any potential points he can while this is happening. There's the King once again. He's going to double back. He's going to be surrounded, though. Corvinus 1 going to pick up an early kill here as well. 17 minutes into the game, and we have got 2 out already as Vortex is eliminated from the game. And now I suspect it's not going to be long until our next player is eliminated. And this is just the consequence of, right, like, this is just what happens in FFAs. If you spawn too close to people, even if you come out on top, you're still behind the guy who didn't spawn close to anybody. And that's where the trouble is, because we've just had a huge amount of action in these early stages of the game. And the consequence of that... Oh, I just realized we got Joan of Arc, a woman at arms. It's not the sniper, so you're not going to be seeing too much sniping. Corvinus 1 with the Musafati. Really starting to... Oh, these are stealthed? I think these... Oh. Excuse me? No, that was Joan of Arc dying. I got so scared, dude. Kingdom of Poland, Puppy Paws just hit Imperial Age. What did he even go to... Okay, so he's gone up with the standard. He's gone up with the Heavy Spearman. I think that's Heavy Spearman. Or is that Genitours? That might be Genitours, actually. Is that Genitours? Can we click and check? No, it's Heavy Spears. It's Heavy Spears. Corvinus 1 just blitzing the lobby right now. Once again, going for his classic style. He loves to do this, where he comes online in the Castle Age and just pumps units non-stop. And of course he knows the truth, right? Like, Myriad is definitely the #1 contender in the middle of the map here. Scatterbrained, we can deal with him later. He's going to be easy pickings. He's up there. He's probably been fighting. But you can see perhaps that's gone against him. Myriad, he's got a number of cav units still here, still alive. He's still fighting. But the trouble you're going to have is there's so many units rallying towards this position. Corvinus 1 just constantly hitting with the reinforcements, and now sitting with 32 Musafati warriors inside the base. And the other problem that you've got is the longer this goes on, the more likely it is someone else walks over to this direction and starts looking for a fight. Myriad going to try. King on the run right now. He's doing a little bit of a bait. Whether or not he's able to... Oh, King has lost movement speed. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't think it would have mattered in the end. The King, unfortunately, going to be going down. Corvinus 1 picking up a second kill right here. At least going to try and pick up a second kill. Yeah, King is stuck. King is stuck. Good night, sweet prince. Corvinus 1 takes another. Okay, so if you're in the lobby right now at this point and Corvinus 1's got 2 kills, you can absolutely point to him and be like, hey, guys, we got to kill him. He's really good, and he's also really far ahead. We got to work together to take him out. And I will say right now that we've seen games that have been very short recently. We've seen a lot of games, and we spoke about it in the Discord, and Don Artie actually said the reason why I think games are so short is because people are afraid to get hit by the admin. They don't want to get told, hey, you're teaming up, when they shouldn't be. They're scared. And so we came out, we clarified with them. We said, hey, guys, we don't want you to be scared of teaming up. Teaming up is a part of FFA. It's just good that it's just going to be justified, right? You can't just point at Puppy Paw and say, hey, he won the last Outback Octagon, or well, he won the first 2 Outback Octagons. He's a good player. Let's all gang up on him now. You can't do that because it's got to be relevant to the game. It's got to be inside the game. That's the key distinction that we make here. Now, of course, you could also point to the leaderboard and say, well, hold on a minute. Corvinus 1 is top of the leaderboard. Let's all take him out. Well, once again, it makes sense from a strategic perspective, but the rules that we've got specifically state you can't do it unless it's related to internal game facts. Now, of course, you can absolutely, within your head, you can be like, hey, I'm going to kill Corvinus because that's the biggest threat in the lobby. Absolutely do that. But you can't team up on him because of that. That's the key distinction. Now, if 5 people happen to all have the same thought, that sucks for Corvinus 1. We'll say that right now. But he's looking for more blood. And this could be that classic case of... You know, we were talking about it earlier the fact that if you go for too many town centers, you may end up with a situation where the entire lobby is just dead, and it's just like, yeah, you've got your TCs, you've got your economy, but you don't have the population for it. Is Corvinus 1 adding in extra TCs? Let's take a look. I feel like from Corvinus 1, or in Corvinus's positions here, yeah, okay, he needs to add in more TCs, and that's exactly what he's doing. So I feel like for every kill, he should be adding an extra TC here so that he can scale that economy. Donati also reaching the Imperial Age, starting to move the king down the south side. Let's take a little bit of a look how things are going here, because this is, to be honest, I think this might be the longest we've ever seen GUA in an FFA game. And this is good. This is exactly what we want. We want GUA to get more experience under his belt because he's a fan favorite. He has been for a long time. He's famous for his meta-defining strategies. And he hasn't brought that over to FFA just yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got, whether or not he's going to be able to cook up a storm here today. Now, one thing to note, okay, is while technically Corvinus is a runaway at the moment, we've still got very strong players that can contend him. Because while he's got this extra population, and this extra population is scary, he's definitely not filling it out, right? Like, what's the point in having big shoes if you don't have big feet? Corvinus 1 has got very big shoes at the moment. It's just that his feet have not yet grown into them. King now coming out, trying to do a bit of a runner. He's still yet to decide he wants to come across. Has he popped the movement speed? Not yet. Keep about to come online. There we go. All right, he should be able to outrun the Musafati. You can see he's trying to bait them in. But now Corvinus 1, he backs out. He says, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Let's do a little bit of a king check. Let's see how these players are doing. Over on the east side, we've got one keep. Second keep over here, we've got the king inside in the headquarters. Donati with the king in the back corner. Corvinus 1, the king over towards the west side. And then finally the king in this last keep here for Scatterbrain. So we know where all of the kings are. And now we've got ourselves a little bit of a clash. I've never seen these before. Puppy Paw with the Knights Templar. And the Hospitaller Knight. Oh my god, was I calling them Templar Knights? Knights Templar before? Excuse me, Hospitaller Knights. It's, you know, they're so rare that we see. I don't actually remember the name. The Hospitaller Knights. The Knights Hospitaller, excuse me. Gosh. Can I also say it's 3 a.m. in the morning? Am I allowed to do that? Do a little bit of Lily Allen? Maybe. Anyway, let's take a look at these units. Are these decent or not? Not really. Not really. I mean, maybe if you get a couple more upgrades on them, they could be okay. But they're essentially men-at-arms that have the ability to heal. And it's like, do you want your men-at-arms whacking or do you want him praying? And there's a part of me that thinks maybe you probably just want him whacking. Okay, Corvinus 1. He's starting to move out across the map. Now, we don't have any stone walls up yet for Puppy Paw, so he is potentially open to a snipe. Don Artie, he's sealed off from the world. He is not going to be dying unless there's battering rams. That's going to give him time. We need to make sure we're constantly checking in over on this east side, mainly because it's a bit hard to tell the difference between the teal or the cyan or the light blue and the green. But now, in the back of the base, GOA going to try and hold the line. Camels together with the hand cannoneers, the last bastion before the king potentially goes down. GUA, he's done a decent job booming that economy up to 79 villages, but unfortunately Puppy Paw, he was very quick out of the gates with regard to that economy. And now Corvinus 1 on the other side of the map, just going to be sieging down buildings. You know what I think Corvinus 1's doing right now? I think he's biding his time intentionally. I think he's intentionally biding his time right now, and that's so smart from him to do that. He knows that these guys are going to fight against each other. They're all next to each other. So the last thing you want to do is rally them together. And how would you rally them together? Killing somebody. You take someone out. Already he's got 2 kills. So what is he doing? He's just biding his time. He's just sitting. He's waiting. He's saying, it's okay. I will allow you. I will permit you to live. King now out. GUA. He's down. Puppy Paw picks up the first kill of his game. And then there were 4. Well, there's 4 remaining, but are there really 4 remaining? Scatterbrain on 20 vills. I don't know if Scatterbrain's... Okay, he is. I wasn't sure if he was playing because he was 20 out of 20. And I was like, ooh, I think Scatterbrain may have gone for a game of Warcraft 3. For anybody wondering about this Warcraft 3 reference, you know the game where Louis lost his king really early? Basically, after that game, he went, or like after he died, he went and played a game of Warcraft 3. And we were starting game 2. And Louis like, hold on, I'm just finishing up my game of Warcraft 3. So that's essentially where that reference is coming from. That's why I'm often bringing it out, is just because, well, you know, after players get knocked out, they'll go for a game of Warcraft 3. Don Hardy in the south here. And, you know, this is something that's quite interesting. Don Hardy mentioned this in the chat before. He said, you know, the biggest issue that you kind of got at the moment with the games is that the players fall so quickly that if you focus on your economy at all, what's going to happen is you just kind of get to 20 minutes and, yeah, you've got a big economy, but everyone's dead. And it's like, you can't be more accurate here. We're 26 minutes into the game. His ally is dead, who was Imperial Age, has been picked off, right? Like, and what's interesting as well is that Don's going after Puppy Paw. He's not going after Corvinus. He is going after Puppy Paw here, out of all the people. And of course, Puppy Paw's a threat, right? He's been sitting in the corner. To be honest, he's probably in one of the better positions. I don't know how the Hospitaller Knight is going to do, though. Puppy Paw reckons it's going to do quite well. Is there something secretly overpowered that Puppy Paw knows that we don't? Perhaps. What other bonuses do these things get other than the fact that they can heal? Like, it just looks like standard men-at-arms stats. They've got a fair bit of decent health here. But Puppy Paw reckons there's something here. Like, perhaps it could be one of the best Imperial Age units, and he was just waiting for it. He's making them over the Schlatter Cavalry as well. Have a look at this. 43 Schlatter Cavalry, and actually, 43 Hospitaller Knights, and 27 on the side of the Schlatter Cavalry. Mango's moving up. He's got a lot of Mangoes out. No upgrades just yet. Siege crews on the side of Don Ardi. And this is something that you want to be cautious about. Puppy Paw maybe even thinking about taking sacred sites in the middle. He's going to start preparing the fortresses. Knows how important it is to keep these bad boys up. Corvinus 1 with quite a few Musafati at the moment. 127 up to 250 pop. And so intentionally and incredibly played here by this Corvinus 1. You can see he's literally just got units parked outside the base of his nearest opponent, ready to pick them off the moment that it comes through. Corvinus 1. And now Puppy Paw making his way towards the Great Bombard, the single Great Bombard. Don's going to make a decision. Do I go? Do I stay? He says, well, I think I probably need to go. I don't think we're going to stay here. But Puppy Paw says, hey, hold on a minute. You can see the chat. Corv disengage. I mean, Puppy, we need to go Corv. Oh, so he's calling out Corvinus 1 here. Perhaps Corvinus 1 being a little bit greedy. Why was Corvinus 1 greedy? He's taken the Sacred Site. Why does that matter? It matters because if he can get kills while he's got the Sacred Site, they're worth more. That's essentially his thinking here. So he's going to look to try and push that up because technically, if he's holding the Sacred Site against 3 players and then he has a Sacred Victory, that's the key distinction here. All right, we got ourselves quite a few Musafati in here. What's the prospect of a snipe? Still relatively high, honestly. That's 8,000. Pilgrims can no longer travel to the selected Sacred Site. Feels bad, man. And Corvinus 1 potentially looking for that snipe. Keep in mind that when it comes to the location of the king, he's not in immediate proximity to these fortresses, which means he can't just quickly go pop, pop, pop. And that's what you want to see. You can look at the amount of units that are coming in through here right now. Let's switch it into Corvinus 1's perspective. How many have we got? We got 65 units. He's going to try his luck for a king snipe. Also towards the north, he's going to pick off the main town center. He could just take out both of the landmarks if he wanted to. Back towards the east side, Wallalol potentially coming through here for Puppy Paw. He could pop it in and out if he wanted to. Town center being repaired up. We can see some villagers underneath doing their best, and Corvinus 1 attacking in from the west side. Wallalol attempt. These units look like they might be trapped. Corvinus 1 just clicking the button and committing. Deleted the units a little bit beforehand. Very smart from Corvinus 1. He deleted the units that were in the circle, left the units that weren't. Unfortunately, not able to find the kill right there. And Puppy Paw stays alive a little bit longer. Let's check on the south side. How's the Don doing? He's building up a big mass of infantry here. Landmark goes down on the west side. King still inside the keep, living for the moment. And aren't we all just living for the moment? Oh, yeah. Sacred Site still rocking here. 7 minutes 40. So not long to go. He's up against 3 players, but I think this is quite smart, leaving alive your opponent, torturing him almost. Scatterbrain on 32 vills. We've all been there, okay? We've all been there in those FFA games. You know those FFA games where you get left alive with like your king, a single landmark, and like 20 vills? And you're like, okay, we can do it. Like the dream is right now. Like if there's ever been a time, this is the time. I can pull this back. Scatterbrain right now is attempting that. I feel like the best way he can do that is just spamming TCs. If you just spam TCs, and just hope that the other two are able to knock Corvinus out. Corvinus at 215 pop. Remember before what I said about those shoes? You've got to be able to fill those shoes up. He's starting to fill them up here. Don Ardi, 200 pop. Puppy Paw 250. So Puppy Paw and Donati, technically, they're looking a little bit better than him. But now, the Knights Hospitaller pushing down towards the wood line. Keep in mind, at the moment, we still do have... Ooh, he's interesting. We've still got 6 minutes and 40 seconds on that Sacred Site timer. But Donati says, hey, I don't actually need to go for the Sacred Site. I can actually just go for your base instead. We're kind of close here. Mangoes upgraded. Indeed, they are. Big shots coming out. Falls back from the front line. Corvinus 1 says, I don't want it. Continues to leave Scatterbrained in the game for the moment. Says, we'll keep him for now. I do like this willing, or this desire to leave them alive and torture them, despite the fact they are very clearly dead at this stage of the game. He's got the town center up, so definitely he's bringing it back. He's bringing it back. A little bit of S Club 7 action in here, and Puppy Paw actually looking kind of scary. See, and this is where you kind of run into that issue that I was talking about. You know, like, yeah, he's got big shoes, but is he able to fill them? And has taking that Sacred Site, you know, on one hand, he's been very strategic in leaving alive Scatterbrain so that he can come back and kill him, not attract attention right here, right now. But at the same time, perhaps he jumped the shark a little bit by taking that Sacred Site. Perhaps he didn't realize the strength of Puppy Paw. The fact that he had been on 2 TCs since the very beginning of the game, actually 3 TCs since the very beginning of the game. He was pumping on that economy, and by the time Corvinus 1 got there, he thought, hey, I'm doing all right here. I should be able to outmass and outbeat these guys. And now look at this. He's left it on the table, and Puppy Paw potentially picks off his prime possession. Puppy Paw knows. Puppy Paw says, hey, now you're under attack. Now it's mine. But keep in mind, Corvinus 1, when it comes to the table, he is the very top of it. He probably at this stage doesn't need that extra 1 point for the kill, but he would absolutely love the victory a little bit more. So he's thinking a little bit more broadly about his strategy, and now pushing back the Don. Don attempting to come into this position, forced away once again. Meanwhile, towards that northern position, the Hospitaller Knights make their way through. Good stats. We'll give them that. Good stat line. Where are they getting the +4 from? Oh, it's the extra melee damage from the Castle Age up, isn't it? All right, King almost certainly going to be going down here. Meanwhile, to the south, Don's scrambling to defend. Sapahi now coming out. He's thinking to himself, how am I going to deal with all these freaking Musofati? They're so quick. They're so fast. Where's the King? There's the King. Trying to find a little bit of position there. Manages to get out the back, and that's going to be it. Puppy Paw now picks up 2 kills as well, and we got a problem, ladies and gentlemen. We got a problem. We've got 2 of the best FFA players, and Don's in the middle. Oh, Don. Oh, Don, the Kingmaker. Now, this is one of the hardest positions to be in when there are 3 players left in an FFA game, because it's your job to do everything that you can to convince the other 2 that you're not the threat. And you may not be the threat, but whether or not they think you're not the threat is a different matter. Now, Corvinus 1, we know he's on a decent amount of kills here. If I remember correctly, he's on 2. And Puppy Paw has now just gone from 1 up to 2 as well. And the longer this goes on, the better it gets for him. He's managed to neutralize the Sacred Site in the middle. He's not taking the Sacred Site either. Allowing his pilgrims to make pilgrimage towards the center, pick up all of that lovely gold. Let's take a look and see how much it is. Should be 130 plus, excuse the treasure troves. So up to 156. And now the Musofati numbers continue to rise. It looks like we're also getting some Musofati gunners in here as well. But look at the size of the army on this bad boy. It's up to 295 population. A lot of units out on the field. He could look to potentially hit down middle, but honestly, I'd be thinking much more about striking a little bit closer. Now, Puppy Paw is aware of this. He's gone for walls. He's completely walled in around the base. I don't think there's any way through here unless you've got battering rams. And that makes it a little bit more difficult for Corvinus 1. Doesn't make it impossible, but definitely makes it a little bit more difficult. But now we can see him securing up the Sacred Site. Boiling Oil is out, and keep in mind 7,800 health on these on these fortresses. Corvinus 1 with quite a few units out sees the Schlatter and moves away. Oh, look at the siege. Oh yeah, you see that much siege, dude? I don't know about you. I see that much siege and I just say no. I'm fine, thank you. That is an indestructible amount of siege. Dude, look at the size of these armies, by the way. We're starting to really push the limits of FFA. These two are absolutely massive. And who else would you expect? You know, we called out at the beginning, we said, who's going to be the first eliminated? It's Louis MT. Who's going to be the winner? Probably Corvinus 1, probably Puppy Paw, one of these two. And it looks like both of them are bringing it home at the moment. A lot of Musafati in here. You got 4 lines deep on these bad boys waiting to get into the fight. And now, more of the Hospitaller Knights come through. Meanwhile, in the south, where's Don? Don's just chilling out. Don, honestly, if I'm you, I'd try and make a run for it. I'd try and make a gun for it. I don't know whether or not he'd be able to do it, though. You got stone wall upon stone wall. And Corvinus 1, it feels like he's probably getting cleaned up here. Puppy Paw, still sitting at max population. 300 out of 300. A lot of resources in the bank. Corvinus 1 down to 218. And this is sort of where you have that trouble, right? Like, the Malians are an incredible civilization when it comes to their power to just... their ability to just spike up in the Castle Age. That's where we really see them take over. But when it gets to the Imperial Age, don't get me wrong, they're good, but are they able to compete with this? Oh god, he's bringing everything. This is so scary, dude. This is scary. Puppy Paw now attempting one of the first legitimate sacred site victories that we've seen in Outback Octagon 4. The games in Outback Octagon 4 have been quick. There's been a lot of action, and we've done our best to try and bring that back around through clarification on the rules. And it seems like things are, well, I don't know, maybe we just got 2 really good players in the same lobby, and they have just recognized real. Now, by the way, have a look at this. King coming forward as well for Puppy Paw here. Entire army defending him. Why is he doing this? Well, he's doing this for a simple reason. If he leaves his king at home, there's a chance that he dies because the king will potentially get sniped. Whereas if he brings the king forward and he's got all of his army forward as well, there's a much lower chance that the king dies. That's the idea. And now Puppy Paw. Do we get a nice little view of this? Is there a way that we can get a good little angle on this? He's got no trebuchet emplacements just yet, but to be honest, they're probably a little bit of a waste of that stone. It's 150 stone. It's a fair bit of it. They never look as cool unless they've got those trebuchet emplacements. I'll say that right now. Wall's coming up for him. And Puppy Paw here at the 38-minute mark. Now sits with 9 minutes left. He's probably going to have to throw a gate down on there. We can see him going in with a second layer from the backside. Fearful of a potential surround. More pilgrims make their way down. How many is he up to? We're up to 10, so we're maxed out here. And so now the question is, does Don look to try and help take out Puppy Paw in the middle? Or does he just try and snipe out Corvinus 1? We know the king's back here. The truth is, Corvinus 1's a good player, and he's stone-walled. He's got so many layers of stone walls here that even if you take out the front layer, you're still got to get through the back. So the prospect of a king snipe is very low, and Don Artie knows that. Of course, as well, Don Artie, if we take a look at the scoreboard, I'm tempted to look at it just quickly, see where Don is. I think he's top 8, which means he's in a good spot, but he's not guaranteed to get through. You really want to try and get as many points as you can at this stage so that you can get through to the semis at the very least, and then eventually to the grand finals. But now we've got ourselves a little bit of a counterattack, potentially. Corvinus 1 up against these Schlatter cavalry. Now, what's interesting is we see Corvinus 1 moving towards the north like this. Keep in mind, there's nothing back there. There's no king back towards that base. And all of these are landmarks. You need to snipe out every single one of these if you want to get the landmark sniped through. All the mangoes sitting at the back of the base get sniped out here. Corvinus 1 loses them all. A beautiful cleanup from the Schlatter cavalry, 446 health, perfectly balanced unit. Absolute beasts. And you can see right now, Don Artie thinking about doing the same thing. I don't know whether or not he spotted out the kings. Both of these players are looking to go into the back. So smart. So smart by Puppy Paw. And just 2 steps ahead, right? 2 steps ahead. He is just like, it's like he's been obese all this time and we've been teasing him for it. And all of a sudden he posts the video and says, ha, I was skinny, you fools. This was a display of art. And now they're breaking through the walls. But at what cost? I mean, he's just delaying them. And you know what's crazy? The only place he's walled is back towards his base. It's like he completely baited them to do it. Look at all the mangoes. And he can stick the mangoes in here. And they're gonna run towards his base. They're gonna see each other. They're gonna be like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Look at the amount of units that are in here right now. They're wasting so much time. They're not even attacking the front. You can clear this out in just a couple seconds. This is incredible. I can't believe we're watching this right now. They're taking down the keeps that are back here. And sure, you take out all the infrastructure, but we got 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Battering rams now coming up for Corvinus 1. Decent amount of economy as well. He's at 143. By the way, Puppy Paw, 27 villages. 27 villages for Puppy Paw. 272 military population. He is 90% military right now. This is it for Puppy Paw. He says, if you take this sacred site, I will surrender. But that is the condition. Corvinus 1 now breaking through. Am I missing something here? I'm not missing anything, right? Like, yeah, you can you take out the Templar headquarters. You still got to take out all the fortresses. This is the whole problem with the civilization. Is they're freaking disgusting, man. They just put their landmarks anywhere they like, and so they clean everything up. Obviously, the king's not at home. Don's a bit confused. He's like, you've got this ability on your king, right? So if you click on the king, he's got this ability. It's called treason, and you can locate other kings. But I don't know whether I don't know whether Corvinus and Don have done that. We don't see any communication coming out from either of them just yet about this. They're cleaning up the bases. I love this from Puppy Paw. Puppy's got no villages anyway. He doesn't care. Take my base. Take my love. Take my land. Take me where I cannot. Come on. How come it's 2025 and we still haven't seen a Firefly remake? Can I get a true for that? Where is the Firefly remake? And now they're going to kill each other inside the base of Puppy Paw. What is going on with these two? Somebody stop them. Somebody alert the players. Oh, hello there. I too see the counter. But no, you don't see the counter. You don't see... Oh, my lord. Oh, gosh. All right. They've done a decent job. Okay, good job. You've taken out the relics. You've stopped the pilgrims from spawning. How about the 272 military population on the single sacred site in the middle of the map with the 8 fortresses? Oh, Lord. He's got Wallalols ready to go as well, just in case. How many mangonels has he got right here? 26? That's a reasonable amount of mangonels. Oh, the Schlatter have come back here. He's just going to try and pick him off midway. This is exactly what he wants. All the bombards in the back. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. Puppy Paw wins this. After this right here, I feel like the only way that you potentially could have won this is if... It seems so obvious, but if the Don had just come up right here and parked himself, and Corvinus 1 was just attacking from this side, I feel like there's a real potential they probably just could have taken him out. But the trouble that you've got is that so much of this is just military population. He's at 268 right now, which is just unheard of. That is so much military. And Puppy Paw, despite facing off against a Corvinus 1 who had a very strong early game, was able to pick up routine repeated kills, left one on the table just in case. Puppy Paw has now potentially used that kill to deny the victory from Corvinus 1. So perhaps what you could have seen, what if Corvinus 1 walled in the king? Now that would have been a game. Interesting, we can see the king starting to move up. Imagine you wall in the king of your enemy. Just to keep him safe. Oh man, Puppy Paw is truly 2 steps ahead in this game. Look at the amount of units, dude. This is incredible. He's got almost 100 Schlatter cavalry out right now. And there's 3 minutes until Sacred defeat. Mango shots coming up. He's got the neutral trading post as well to provide a little bit of assistance. And those mangonels. I mean, it's like Puppy Paw right now is playing 1v8 Crucible. Up against the Malian Empire. Look at those disgusting mangonels. A sea of mangonels. Good luck. Good luck. Sea of mangonels. Now from the backside, we've got more Musofati coming in. He's going to try and snipe out the fortress with 10,000 health, by the way. Boiling oil underneath. Mangonels out the wazoo. Siege workshops for days here. And he realizes, no, we can't. And now more units starting to come out for the Don in the south. The Great Bombards making their way across the map. They're doing their little bombard. They're bopping their way. We got how many minutes until Sacred defeat? 2 minutes until Sacred defeat. Oh boy. I can't help but feel like maybe this was a bait. And I love the fact that Puppy read this. He saw this minutes before it even happened. he saw the fact that his opponents would just go for the king instead of going for the sacred site. So he brings the king up to the front and says, well, good luck to you. By the way, what do you call a group of mangonels like that? What's the collective noun for a group of mangonels when they're doing that? Is it an orgy of mangonels? I feel like it might be. I think that's the technical term. Now beginning to push forward, Corvinus 1. Bombards out. It's a murder of mangonels. All right, okay. A shit ton of mangonels, also a good potential option for us. Bombard numbers looking good. That is a shit ton of bombards. We'll say that right now. Now beginning to push forward. Numbers looking decent for Puppy Paw on the defense. Still sitting at max pop. 300 out of 300. He's got quite a few in queue. Great bombards continue moving up. 1 minute to go for sacred victory / defeat. Corvinus 1 trying from the west side. The Puppy Paw sacred site is exposed. Mango's firing off. Musofadi warriors doing a decent job. Puppy Paw to the south though. The Schlatter cavalry is microing everywhere. Left, right, center, up and down. Forcing them back. There's so much siege in here. Puppy Paw taking inspiration from Beastie undoubtedly with this amount of siege. Cleans up all the Sipahi. There's no units even close to this sacred site. Musofadi going to try and make an attempt here. Springalds together with the Mangonels going to be able to easily defend this, and you can see Corvinus 1's realized, hold on, Mangonels, that's a cool trick, I can do that too. But there's a whole bunch of Schlatter cavalry here that's looking to deny them out. Meanwhile, to the south, the Great Bombards stand strong and tall. 19 seconds to go. Puppy Paw is attempting the impossible against these two absolute gigachads. Both of these guys in the top 8. Corvinus 1 currently leading us on points. But will he be after this game? That is the question. The Mangonels, the Bombards, everyone trying to make it to the site. 3 seconds to go. Just get on the site. The Mangonel says no, no, no. Ladies and gentlemen, good game. Well played. Puppy Paw takes the victory with an absolutely beautiful sacred site defense, a huge army to top it all off, and a very intelligent king move right there at the end. Can we just talk about that king move for a second? How beautiful was that? The fact that he knew exactly what they were both going to do and countered them. Just 2 steps ahead. 2 steps ahead. Let's take a look at these unit counts. Look at economy count first. Fine Puppy Paw. Green. Off the cliff. Now let's have a look at green on the military count. It's not that crazy. It's because all of it was siege. This is literally all siege units. Oh, man. What an incredible game right there from Puppy Paw. Well played. That is going to give him a whole bunch of points. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see exactly how many it gave him and whether or not that puts him on top. You still got a little bit of a way to go there, Puppy Paw. Corvinus 1 managing to pick up some kills there in that game as well. Of course, Don Artie was in that game. He still currently sits in 8th place. Did obviously not get any kills, so sucks for Don. He'll be feeling bad about that one, but I tell you what, it was pretty close. It was definitely very close. Knights Templar, once again, really showing that they may actually be a top contender when it comes to FFA civilizations. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, this video, this game in Season 4 of Outback Octagon.